Kawaki tries to regain his true power. Matsuri attacks Konohamaru out of jealousy. Meanwhile, Ryu prepares to teach Sarada a lesson. Did Chapter 18 of 2 Blue Vortex manage to intrigue or not? Enjoy watching. The romantic storyline between Matsuri and Konohamaru continues. A clone of the Ten Tails feels embarrassed, but gradually regains control and asks the grandson of the third if she can call him Konohamaru-chan. This triggers flashbacks for him of Moegi, who used to address him the same way. At first, he seems indifferent to being addressed like that, but after the girl repeats it several times, he asks her to stop because only one person has the right to call him that. The girl then asks who that person is and if it's Moegi. Afterward, she demands an immediate answer from the grandson of the third, calling him by his full name, Konohamaru Sarutobi. It seems that Shinju has started to feel jealous, essentially of herself, since she is Moegi in the body of the Ten Tails. Here we have two possibilities. Either she will spank him now out of jealousy, or in the future, she'll realize her only chance to be with Konohamaru is to return to being Moegi. However, I hope this is just feigned jealousy, and that she won't betray Jura and the others for the grandson of the third. Now let's discuss Ryu, Sarada, and Mitsuki. They approach the sand shinobi waiting nearby. A clone of Shinki begins to question where Boruto's tracks, to which he was led. Sarada, it seems, has completely forgotten about this. Their plan for splitting up doesn't seem well thought out. They didn't even prepare for the possibility that Shinju's clones might start asking questions. Ryu begins scattering his metallic sand, which makes Uchiha uneasy. This raises the question, why is he doing it? Shinju explains that this will help him find Boruto, as the sand enhances his ability to sense people. He also notes that Yodo is glaring at him with a very intense and unnatural bloodlust. However, the girl says this is normal for shinobi and advises him to ignore it. Mitsuki displays his intelligence by attempting to figure out why the Ten Tails clones need Boruto. Orochimaru's son states that the Leaf Shinobi are pursuing a village traitor and will kill Boruto when they find him, but why do they need him? Ryu doesn't know the answer, maybe because Boruto knows too much about Thorn Souls, or because of something else. In short, he is in their way. Sarada joins the conversation, asking what a Thorned Soul is, and whether it can be used as bait for Boruto. Ryu admits he hadn't considered this, saying it's a good idea, and then extracts the Thorned Soul from himself, which begins levitating in the air. Yodo immediately tries to grab it. Ryu comments that the bait has worked. Thanks to Mitsuki's words, the author reveals that Shinju was playing dumb all along and knew from the start that he was being led into a trap. Ryu uses his sand to control everyone as if they were puppets, but the question arises, how? Could it be that by coming into contact with his enemies' bodies, Ryu can control the metal in their blood, enabling him to manipulate them? Arai intervenes, using a magnetic blade or something similar to disperse the sand. This blade was originally created to fight alongside Shinki. However, now Arai must use its power against Ryu. Shinju declares that this technique is unfair. Now let's move on to the most interesting part. Kawaki, having grabbed Amado, offers him a deal. Either he restores his power, or he dies. Sumire enters the room, surprised by what's happening, but Kawaki tries to calm her down. Meanwhile, Amado utters a code word and shuts the boy down, confirming that he is capable of disabling any of the cyborgs. I've said many times before that the scientist can deactivate anyone he has enhanced, so with 99% certainty, neither Demon, nor Ida, nor Code pose a threat to him, as he can simply shut them off. This old man plays the role of the helpless, while in reality, he controls the strongest. In addition, Akiba's body, the scientist's daughter, is also in this room. When the boy wakes up, Amado offers him a new deal. If he helps him bring his daughter back by transferring karma with her genes into a created vessel, the scientist will reconfigure Kawaki's power. Right now, it's set to defense, making him practically immortal, but Amado will shift it to attack, making him several times stronger. However, Kawaki refuses, saying that if Amado's daughter gets karma and becomes an Otsutsuki, he will kill her on the spot, because he has no intention of breeding more enemies for himself. Amado agrees that if something goes wrong, Kawaki has the right to do so. However, it won't be easy. Most likely, the scientist is hinting that he won't allow Kawaki to do anything like that, which in turn means that Akiba is 100% going to become an Otsutsuki. But Kawaki starts to lose his temper, saying he will agree only on one condition, if the sequence is different. First, Amado will change his defense parameters into strength, then Kawaki will destroy all of Shinju clones, Boruto, and the other enemies, and only after that will he return the scientist's daughter, and only in this order, no other way. Essentially, Amado has no choice left, and in the next chapter, we will see Kawaki's true power. This means the boy will be able to use Ishiki's full combat potential. Remember the first episode, where Kawaki stood with a staff in his hand? That scene demonstrated that he fights similarly to Jigen, who used a similar staff in battle against Naruto and Sasuke. Amado told us that if Ishiki were to be reborn in Kawaki's body, he would become invincible. And thanks to the reconfiguration of power, we should finally witness all of that strength. Most likely, there are even techniques we haven't seen yet. And of course, Kawaki's outfit might change to the one we saw at the beginning of the anime. Another thing that caught my attention in this chapter was the fact that a thorned soul can be extracted from Shinju without destroying him. This hints at the possibility that one of the Ten Tails incarnations might willingly give up their thorned soul to essentially free their original body from captivity. And in my opinion, that someone could be either Hidari or Matsuri. After all, we've been given hints that Shinju has emotions they don't yet understand, but in the future they might figure them out. And at some critical moment, Hidari himself might want to save Sarada because his paternal instincts will awaken. What can I say about the chapter? The events are interesting, but they are developing too slowly, considering we only get 12 chapters per year. And if things continue at this pace, we'll have to wait at least 5 years for the finale, and that's the best case scenario. Now, let's discuss what I expect from the next chapter. First, Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan. She should have already demonstrated this power long ago, but judging by how things are going, Arei will be the one to counter Rue's sand, and the entire battle will revolve around him for a while. However, sooner or later, Sarada must show that she is the main character. That's why I'm expecting Susanoo and some unique abilities from her eyes. Second, it will be amusing to watch how Konohamaru fights against Matsuri. I'm expecting some more comedic moments where the girl gets jealous of Moegi, trying to absorb the grandson of the third but hesitating out of fear of hurting him. I also want to see Konohamaru's true strength. He wants to become Hokage, so it's time for him to prove himself. Sage mode, Rasen Shuriken, Ninjet, something, anything. Third, Kawaki's arrival on the battlefield. I'm sure many of you are expecting Boruto to come save Sarada, but the main character has already demonstrated his power. Right now, it's Kawaki who is about to unleash his full combat strength, so it would be better if he appears instead. After all, Boruto didn't tell his sworn brother about Amado suppressing his power for no reason. I'm convinced Kashin Koji was involved in this, subtly hinting to the younger Uzumaki that he should share this information, knowing exactly what would happen when Kawaki regains his strength. That's why his appearance in the Land of Sand and the demonstration of Ishiki's true power would be perfectly fitting. However, this is unlikely, as Sarada still needs her moment to shine as well. To put it simply, I'm expecting too much from the next chapter, and looking even further ahead, I think what I'm anticipating the most is Demon's fight against Jura, or Mamushi. After all, he's the only one who can see Ida when she watches them, and he has also set his sights on her as a target. That's why her brother must inevitably clash with one of these two, Mamushi or Jura. Jura would be the best option to showcase just how strong this boy really is, while Mamushi would serve the plot better, as he plans to absorb Ida. And we still don't know what that means, how it will happen, whether it's lethal, or if it's another form of entrapment within a tree. However, I personally believe that the Ten Tails incarnation is stronger than Demon. If that weren't the case, then Kashin Koji would have simply told them about a future where Ada's brother effortlessly defeats Jura and the others. Why go through all these complications if the strongest character of all is already in Konoha? From this information, we can infer that Koji is well aware that Jura cannot be defeated by Demon's power alone. This could be because his reflection ability doesn't work on Shinju, or perhaps on Jura himself, as they have no intent to cause harm. Demon only reflects attacks that carry the intention to hurt him. In other words, if an attack lacks such intent, it could still land, since it has already been shown that Jura doesn't kill out of malice. He does it coldly, without any sinister motive. And if that's the case, then Ida is in serious trouble. But for now, this is just speculation, as we still don't fully understand how Demon's ability functions. Based on all this, we can expect interesting events. After all, Amado is hiding the fact that he can disable the cyborgs for a reason. It would be hilarious if even Jura somehow turns out to be connected to the scientist, since he has an abnormal interest in learning about the world. But that's a topic for another video. I'm also expecting to see Gaara's absorption. We've been told that the Shinju want to consume their targets, but we don't know exactly what that means or how it happens. That's why the authors must show us what this process entails, and I think Gaara would be the perfect candidate for that. For now, I'll be waiting for you in the comments so we can discuss everything mentioned above. I'd also be grateful if you could be more active, watch older videos, leave likes, write constructive comments, and maybe even recommend the channel to your friends. Wishing you all the best.